breaking news, breaking news. P Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, and Luigi Mangione is locked down as a race riot erupts in Brooklyn federal jail. I'm gonna break down to you what goes on during a lockdown, the race fire, how all that play out in the prison system. Sit back until then while the intro playing. Subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel at Juanita Mecca Audio, Unique Mecca Audio, Prison Stories, Mecca Audio TV. Rewind it, keep it moving. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell. We on the move. Alright, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. We in the house. The jail is on lockdown. P. Diddy is locked in his cell for 23 hours a day. So Sean Diddy Combs and Luigi Mangione, they both locked down, not together, but they locked down in the same jail, in the same department, because they put all the high-profile inmates together, right? They can't get any visits. They friends and family. You know, they can't call in. This is a month after the race riot, because what they got to do after that is they got to do what they call modified, movements, meaning they break it down where they might let one tier out at a time, because it's 4 tiers in a unit if it's a upstairs and downstairs, or it's 2 tiers, one on the left, one on the right. Normally they got one above that, but MDC, to my knowledge from when I was there, it didn't have an upstairs, it was just a downstairs. So they might let the left side out, or the first 10 cells out, or the first 5 cells. That's called modified, movement, right? So they can't get no visits, they can't make no phone calls, they can't do none of that, but they get to make a phone call, whenever they come out for a shower and rec, and all that is within an hour. They might do it 3 times a week. So in the latest episode of the dailymail.com, the podcast, the trial on Diddy, federal prisoners assaulted, consulted with San Mangro, said that the Metropolitan Detention Center was placed on lockdown since last week after more than 40 inmates were involved in a melee, right? While high-profile inmates like Combs, Mangione, and Sam Backman-Fried were not housed in the area where the incident happened in, they still had to lock them down because they are part of the jail, and word could spread and things could move on to any other area of the jail. So they say they weren't housed in the same area, but they was in the Brooklyn facility, and they put it on modified operations. And like I said, modified operations is where you come out a little bit at a time. You know what I mean? Now, he's locked down at 23 hours out of 24 hours. Mango told the Daily Mail of Combs, I'm sure they allowed him out of his cell at least 3 times a week for a shower and to make a phone call, but that's about it. So he's being fed in the cell. It's 6 by 9 cell with a little, slot in the window. So you got the cell, and then you got a little slot in the window, and that's where they put the food in. And if you got to come out, you got to back up, put the back of your hands together, and put it out. And they do that so you can't move it once you got the handcuffs on. If he wants to exercise in his cell, right? Did he want to exercise in his cell? He got to read a book, exercise his mind. There's no TVs in the cells, but they do have TVs on the tier, and it's up to the police. Right now, about a month after it happened, they'll leave the TV on so he could sit in his cell, him and his cellie, and they could both stand up on the door with their earbuds on, and they could watch whatever's on the TV, ask the police to change the channel. But 9 times out of 10, somebody got a remote control in the prison, and they changing it from in their cell, because that's how they move. So now, the lawyer said, I know my client as well as other clients. I work closely with other consultants that is actually Mangione consultant, right? So now there are they're claiming for legal visits, right? Look, they're clamoring, they're trying to get legal visits. They can't even get legal visits because it's on lockdown. So that means the case is on hold, so they could try and use that to push Diddy's case back, right? So he said he worked with closely with other consultants, and it's crazy. They're clamoring to get legal visits. It's the only time that they could get out of their cells to see people and to interact with people in a more open environment. So in other words, your lawyers could always come, supposed to always be able to come. So to get a peace of mind and just to get out the cell, you'll tell your lawyer, come see me tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. It's like you being furloughed and you going out there to go have a visit with your lawyer, right? So now the riot, officials with the Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed to dailymail.com that multiple inmates were observed fighting at the Brooklyn facility on February 22nd, right? So we ain't even a month into it yet, and they're already moving. Combs has been in Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center since his arrest in September. And they didn't even take his $50 million bail. You tell them they wiped their ass with $50 million. New York laughed at him, said, you gave Cassie 30 or better and you only offering 50 for your own freedom? What do we look like, suckers? This is what they saying, right? So now, Combs has been there since September, responding employees isolated and contained the incident, and at no time was the public in danger. The BOP spokesman Donald Murphy told the dailymail.com, saying no time was the public in danger. They couldn't get out. All they could do was harm themselves. So the public wasn't in danger. It was just them that was in danger. So now it says the prison, MDC, which housed more than 1,600 inmates, is notorious for its deplorable conditions. Remember, that's where the heat went off and all that, and it was real crazy over there, during the winter, and they sued and got a bag. In 2019, the prison made headlines after inmates suffered days without heat or power in severe weather conditions. Diddy has been locked up in MDC since he was arrested last year on sex trafficking and racketeering charges. He's been denied bail multiple times. Combs has vehemently denied all of the allegations since they first came to light. Pleaded not guilty after charges were initially read. Speaking of the latest episode of the trial of Diddy, right? Mango said Combs and Mangione are housed in a general population area. That general population area is a dorm, a unit that they put all the high-profile inmates so that people can't get to them to extort them, and they even put the rats over there because they know they're safe, and you already know how I feel about rat bastards. And I say rat bastards because those are the ones that's sitting there saying they're not telling, and they don't know why they in this unit, but you know that you telling it all, and that's why you in there. You know what I mean? Now, speaking on the latest episode of the trial of Diddy, right? They're not on the floor that would, that was susceptible to the riot. These dudes is not gonna riot. You know what I mean? So they're not on. They not on that floor, right? They first came to light, and Diddy pleaded guilty, so now he's locked up, and he's caught up with all of this, right? Mangione said they're on the floor with other high-profile individuals that the last thing they want to do is get involved in a riot. That's the point that I'm making. These are the ones that's scared to do anything, so they ain't trying to get into nothing. They glad where they at, and they trying to get in where they fit in. So they're on a truly segregated floor from everyone else. Now, they are, they're punished the same as everyone else because they're in the jail. So if they're in the jail and they lock down one part of the jail, they lock it all down. Even the rat part or even a high-profile part, they all get locked down. The BOP statement, right? Now, the BOP statement, officials with the Federal Bureau of Prison said there were injuries during the February 22nd incident. Multiple incarcerated individuals were medically assessed and treated for minor injuries in the facility. So I guess there was no knives around, Murphy said. Two incarcerated individuals sustained injuries requiring outside medical treatment. That's the knife play. Hey, you know? Now, Diddy sitting here going through all this, got to go through his trial, you know, so we're going to show some different pictures of Diddy so you understand. Diddy going through it right now, right? So now, what is it? Murphy refused to comment on the injuries sustained by the inmates involved in the fight. He added no jail employees were injured. See, that's all they care about. No jail employees were injured. Hey, you know? So Diddy caught up in all this melee right now. Mango said his sources in the federal jail said more than 40 prisoners were involved in the melee, adding race riots and becoming more common, right? So race riots is becoming more common. You already know that's going to happen. That's what happened in prison. The facility can't afford to have a high-profile, certainly inmate. But in this case, a high-profile inmate gets injured from another inmate. You know, that's going to be a problem. So that's what they worried about, right? And because the MDC, I'm saying MCC because I was in MCC too when I first got locked up in '93. And because the MDC is a dangerous place, obviously, look what happened on Friday. Not only from the PR point of view, they're terribly understaffed. There are a lot of racial tension, a lot of gang tension, a lot of significant number of illegal immigrants are held there. So that means it's overcrowded. They understaffed. You already see up north where those 7 officers just got indicted for killing that inmate. You know, they on strike up there. The National Guard is there. I had homies call me from up there, tell me about it. Prisoners are so far still allowed visits from their attorneys, but visits from their family and friends have been placed on pause at MDC BOP officials said. But because that's what they do. You know what I mean? They shut it down so you can't get no visits because they don't want you in the visiting hall and you see your ops in the visiting hall because we ride. There was one of the homies, right, that he had a beef with a dude and he seen his mother in the visiting hall with his sister and his girl. And dude ran over there and spit a razor blade out his mouth and ripped his op's mother's face open. That's why I say don't get involved in the streets. It's not worth it because this is how it plays out. You know? So we're not going to do that because we ain't trying to get you to go in prison. Right? Mango said one of his clients who was also housed in the same floor as Combs have had interactions with the disgraced bad boy mogul. Now he's a disgraced bad boy mogul. He haven't even had his day in court yet, and look how they putting him out. Man, y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. All right? Diddy sightings. The prison consultant said Diddy has been seen playing a card game of spades and board games with other inmates. So when they going to put in this thing now when they go to judge, he's interacting well with others like he's on a vacation or a job. It was around the holiday time, so I believe he was as depressed as any other, you know, guy that was there that couldn't be with their family because obviously they have restricted visits and how long they can be with someone and, you know, how many visitors they could have. So it's a depressing time during the holidays because I survived 27 holidays, you know, in there. So it's a depressing time, but he was as friendly and cordial as anyone else on that floor that was in those conditions, just so that you understand, you know. Now, you know, they got Diddy in the detention center, so it's not a funny situation to be in, but they all look around and say in their opinions a mockery, right? A mockery of justice. It is that they are here because it hasn't sunk in yet that they're still pre-sentence, pre-trial. So there's a lot of optimism still that they, you know, they hold on to. In other words, they holding on to faith, they holding on to hope, they holding on to all that. You know what I mean? Just so you understand. Because they got them all in there. High profile, they put them all on the same place, you know? So it's not a, although Combs, right? although Combs, hold up. Where's that? Where we at? Although Combs is still awaiting trial and was denied bail and his charges and all that, Magnoli said prison consultant like him would be wise to prepare for the worst scenario. In other words, they tell him to prepare, to get punished. Get sentenced to that multiple life sentences. Mango said if Combs were to be found guilty, the safest place to house a high-profile inmate would be in Tucson, Arizona, where he would have the opportunity to live his life. So they're already planning on finding Diddy guilty and sending him to Tucson. You see how they move it? So now they said that USP Tucson has a dedicated area for prisoners convicted of sexual offense that has a high level of protection. If I were consulting him, should he be found guilty, I would be working with his legal team to get him to the best facility based upon his sentence. Now, they're already planning on sending him to a facility. They're not even looking at there's a chance of this man beating the case, and that's what's so sad. The strategy is to get him the most amount of freedom as quickly as possible is something that would want to work out in his behavior, in his favor. But first and foremost, if found guilty, where to get him to a place that he's safe, that his family knows he's safe, so that he can then institute whatever strategies he can put into place for him to be given better circumstances to try and win an appeal. So they're already plotting Diddy going down with an appeal. But I want y'all to understand that when they have these these riots in the jail and these lockdowns in the jail, it don't matter what area or what unit they have it in, they lock down the whole jail. They put everybody gets locked down in that jail. I was in ADX, so we riding. I was in ADX in 96, 97, right? And when I was there, USP Colorado, they had a big war going on with the California MA and the Texas MA. I spoke about that at Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories. Go check out my prison story videos. But I was there when they had, that on-site beef with each other, and they locked down ADX because ADX is on the complex with the USP, and the USP got locked down. So they was locked in the cell for a month, and we was locked in for a month. It's crazy because while we locked in there for the month, keep in mind, we locked in and can't get our hour record day. Normally we go outside for an hour a day with everybody on the tier. We look forward with being with everybody is how it was when we was in ADX. But when they had a problem over at the USP Colorado, ADX Supermac in Florence, Colorado, that was on the same complex, they would also be locked down. But now Diddy to get into Diddy. Where Diddy's at now, they might let him out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to take a shower, use the phone, and make a quick phone call, and they give you 15 minutes. If you're lucky, you get 30 minutes for that. That's called modified lockdown. But at the same time, that's where only person's allowed to come see him is his attorney. So, that's where we at. Family members, friends, all that can't see him. So only thing you have to look forward to during these 23-hour lockdown is Monday to Friday after 4 o'clock count when they bring that mail. That mail call means so much to you. So if you know someone that's in prison that you love, I'm advising you to just take out a piece of paper and write, thinking about you, I love you, I miss you, and just put it in the thing. If you need a stamp, I got plenty of stamps. I can give y'all some stamps so you can mail them to your people and just send them that one line on a piece of paper, and that would lift their spirits so much. We just want to hear our name called at mail call. All my people that been in prison, the state, the feds, or wherever, you know what that feeling is like when you get your name called at mail call. But while they got the riot and all that going on there, even the mail gets delayed. Sometimes 2 days, they might bring it at 11 o'clock, so you staying up all night waiting on the mail like you waiting to go to a concert or something. But all you waiting on to see if you got any mail. Police walk by, stop at every other cell, put a little mail on the letter, and then he walk by your cell and your hopes is crushed. Damn, nobody loved me. Nobody thinking about me. And then before he walk off the stair, he stop and say, oh, Unique, here, I got something for you. And then your life light up again. You know, this is what we're trying to prevent, man. You having to be looking forward to mail. You know, could you believe that? You're looking forward to mail. This man, after all this money, $68 million yacht, now his biggest joy is looking for mail and mail call. Been on here long enough. Subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, Juanita Mecca Audio, Unique Mecca Audio TV. Unique Mecca Audio Prison Story and Mecca Audio TV. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours, so we can give back to the.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.